Nick.
Hey, Tys.
What's happening, Nick?
It's warm.
It is very warm.
It's warm. Look, it's 30 degrees.
Yes.
Which is not that bad for Australia.
Look, as soon as it hits a 3 at the start of that number,
Yeah.
I check out, man.
You check out?
That's it. I'm like, nah.
Unless you've got decent
I can't function
decent
in...
aircon.
Decent aircon is a requirement.
One of my favourite summers with my wife was, I think it was 2 summers ago. We went and watched The Imitation Game and then Whiplash back to back in a cinema to stay out of the heat.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favourite days.
It's not a bad day.
How good is that day?
Yeah, I don't love Imitation Game.
I wasn't a huge fan, but
Whiplash.
Dude, come on.
Fuck yeah.
It was intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could imagine watching Whiplash in, like... I almost want to watch it in the opposite
You
environment.
want to watch it in the heat? Yeah.
I'd love to watch it in, like, a sweat box.
Yeah.
And just feel that fucking anxiety rise all the way through.
Do you have that? Are there films, because I don't know whether I've talked about this before, but are there films for you that you watch in certain weather? Like one for me is Black Snake Moan. That is one that I watch. I don't know whether you've seen it.
Yeah.
It is a sweat box
It's a
of a movie,
sweaty
and you
movie.
need
Yeah.
that sweatiness.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I feel you.
Like Mad Max, Fury Road in the heat. That's a different movie.
Sure. I like watching movies. I like watching movies set in the snow in summer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So you'll go Die Another Day in the summer.
It's always my first choice, of course. Yes, Die Another Day. The best James Bond movie, some would say.
Pierce.
Hey, it's Nick, Tys and Videotape. Welcome to episode number 43.
43. Hey, gang.
Hey, gang, indeed.
How are you?
We are looking at the Rob Reiner directed Stephen King adaptation Stand By Me today.
Absolutely. We thought we'd give you some classic after last week's okay. Like it was okay.
Yeah, look, this is classic, isn't it?
This is up there.
It is.
This is going to be a different type of podcast, because we were just talking about how do you talk about something that is universally amazing?
Yeah.
I don't know one person
that is universally agreed that it's an excellent, excellent film.
Yeah. I don't know anyone that hasn't. I know people that haven't seen it, but I don't know anyone who doesn't like it.
I think there are moments you can point to within it that maybe aren't as strong as other moments.
Yeah, but we're talking like not strong being like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, for sure.
Rather than a 10.
For sure.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that very shortly.
We will.
Before we do any of that, why
let's
don't we
talk some trailers, Tys. Yeah.
Everybody's talking
trailers. Okay.
Alrighty.
So, we actually got a few trailers, surprisingly, in the very short amount of time between our last recording.
I know,
and
which
today.
was nice for a change.
It is nice for a change.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're stuck talking about, that weird indie Turkish like experimental art film, and other times
sometimes we go to the Bollywood movies and go, we could talk about that, but we don't know what we're talking about.
We would have no idea. I'd be watching it and just be kind of like, now is he
what's going on? Let's dance. Fuck it.
Oh, but they're dancing, so I'm going to have a good time.
Exactly.
I mean, it's impossible not to have a good time.
With the colours and, I'm
exactly.
in.
So, yeah, well, why don't we talk about...
Oh, my friend Tys is dying. He's all right.
I'm all right.
He's all right. He's getting there.
Yeah, I'm a bit vocally tired. Let's put it that way. Why don't we first talk about Rampage?
Oh, Rampage. My brother linked me to this because it was I don't know if you know, Rampage was for our listeners, it was a video game back in the SNES games.
Well, they're
days.
disguising the fact that it is a video game film.
Yeah. Quite well.
Well, they're not making a thing of it
at
all.
Which is good. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I do remember the game.
Yeah.
It was like a Street Fighter but with monsters.
Yeah, you were the monsters, and you had to, every level you had to destroy the buildings that were on that level. You got points for eating people. You got points for smashing cars, and the surroundings.
I think I've got it mixed up with something else.
All right, and the surroundings would start fighting back at you. So helicopters would come and shoot you, and tanks would come and shoot you.
I know this one.
Yeah.
So the angle they're taking is a little strange.
It's a bit different. To be
it
honest,
is-
I think it kind of works better, though, rather than having it from the monster's point of view.
No, I
of
mean
the
that
rampage.
movie would be hard to make. I
Yeah.
think effectively the
That's
movie
true.
where
We are the monsters.
we are the bad. Yeah, well, because I suppose that.
But that doesn't. It doesn't. I kind of like it. And to be honest, I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch this. Like the trailer wasn't that bad.
I kind of dug it.
Yeah.
I think it looks like it's going to be a really fun time.
Yeah.
I wasn't the world's biggest fan of San Andreas. Like, as far as those kind of movies went, it was fine. It was on par with any of them. It wasn't especially bad or especially good. I think The Rock is a really effective screen presence.
He's entertaining. I'll watch him in anything
and
apart from
you know,
the fairy tooth movie or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, look,
Tooth
I don't
fairy
need to
movies.
watch that
No.
ever. And I'm digging this kind of. You know what it reminded me of?
Yeah.
The vibe. Remember in remember Congo?
I do remember that.
When they had
It had a bit of a vibe
the
like
monkey
that.
that was their friend,
Yeah.
and
What happened to Congo? I forget.
something about diamonds, and they all
Diamonds.
melted.
Wow.
Didn't they all get shot?
I don't
Didn't they all
remember.
get there was like a laser beam that came out of a diamond, the world's biggest diamond, or something,
Really?
or something,
Or something
I
of
think
that
that's
nature.
that's more likely the case.
fuck?
See, I told you there's fluff
What
all
the
over this.
fucking...
Yeah, man. I wasn't making that shit up.
I was like, why is my microphone hairy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, and
Sorry.
we have in the past
Yes.
made mention of a frustrating trope in these new trailers.
Go on.
The repurposed song.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I didn't...
I liked it a lot.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It's the only thing I didn't dig. I was
My
like,
problem is because
really?
I'm a huge Pumpkins fan.
Yeah.
Like, massive,
Oh, okay.
massive fan.
Yep.
And so when I heard that the
when it kicked in,
world
there's
is a
a
vampire,
vampire.
I was
Yeah,
like,
you-
oh
really?
yeah, shit just got real.
Okay.
So I was on board.
You
I was
were
on
all
board.
for it.
The only bit, and it's the bit that, and they stole it from. I don't know who did it first, but
Yeah.
the most recent one that springs to mind was in the Justice League trailer,
Yeah.
where they repeat that one line
Oh,
over and
yeah,
over. And it was for the Justice League. It was the "Come Together,"
Yeah.
and it just kept going and going, and that gives me like massive anxiety because I need
give you
to,
anxiety?
because
Because you need to fucking...
I need to hear the next line
Yeah.
where it
Yep,
happens.
yep.
I can't keep hearing that over and
It's
over
like
again.
hearing a skipping fucking song.
Yep.
Or your CD is skipping or
It's
your
the
record
same-
is skipping.
yep.
Motherfucker!
It's the same thing like if you've got a song stuck in your head and you don't know the next bit.
Oh.
How it can be like an incredibly frustrating experience. You have to go and find
Yep,
it and
yep.
listen to it. I had the exact same experience
Or if
during
you-
the Justice League trailer where I was like, you need to say right now, immediately, it needs to happen. Stop. Oh, Valerian did it too.
Really?
Yeah, it was in the Valerian trailer. And what song
What
was that?
song was that? Do you, while you're thinking about that, do you, because what you just described just then is if I have a song stuck in my head, which it'll be some 90s piece of shit pop song,
Right.
and I have to listen to it in order to get it out? Does that,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that a thing? That's a thing, isn't it?
This is what I've been told.
Yeah.
And take it with a grain of salt, I
Sure,
guess. This is
sure.
internet wisdom.
Yep.
That the way to get a song out of your head is to sing it through.
Is to sing it through.
So if you
Once
are
it's
repeating
done-
this one little bit of chorus over
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're rocking it out,
Yep.
stop, sing it from beginning and give it a conclusion.
Yep.
And apparently
It'll stop.
It stops.
All right, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. So whether or not that works,
Fair deal.
who knows?
The only other time that
Oh, yeah. So
You got it, go.
Valerian. It was another Beatles. They had "Because" from Beatles.
Oh, right, okay.
And so it kept having that bit over and over where it went, because of his,
No, you haven't got it.
yeah, I can't remember the exact bit, but it did a very similar thing. Repeated this one phrase over and over and over, and I needed to hear the next bit.
verse. Yeah.
Whereas in this, it actually didn't do it because it only did it one more time than it's meant to. Because there is a part in the song where he repeats it 3 times in a row.
That's true. He did.
They just did it 4 times.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's okay.
That's possible. I'm going to let that pass.
Yeah.
Can I say something else though? Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
Oh, yeah.
welcome and
Welcome back to
let's see you in
everybody's-
fucking
yeah.
everything. I want to see you in everything. I
Yeah.
really fucking do.
Just he had like a little stint where I thought he was
Yeah.
going to be really huge.
Watchmen. After the
yeah.
Watchmen, you were
Well,
like,
you had,
yes, the comedian is going to be badass, and then
you
went
had
away.
Losers, remember the Losers?
Oh, Losers.
Which is a really fun little movie. Like, it's not fantastic, but I had a really good time.
Yeah.
He was great in that.
Chris Evans is in it. Chris Evans is in it, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chris Evans, Idris. Idris. I'm going to start saying it correctly.
Yeah,
that movie is all right. That movie's not bad.
Yeah.
Isn't there a Losers 2?
What?
I'm thinking of something else.
What?
I'm thinking of...
They made a sequel to that?
I'm thinking of...
No, well...
No, what was the other ensemble? Something like that. No, I'm way off. I'm way off.
No.
Sorry, I'll come back. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see him again.
Yeah.
He looks like he's doing like a sleazy kind of scumbag thing. I hope he's not just like... Sometimes the villains in these films turn out to just be like dead weight. So I'm hoping that he's not just wasted. But he's going to get to play Batman soon, so it's all good.
That's true.
I know it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Especially now.
It will happen.
Especially now. They are making that Flashpoint movie like immediately.
Smoking Aces. That's the other one I was talking about.
Yeah, Smoking Aces.
There is a Smoking Aces too.
There is.
Yeah. Smoking Aces and what did we just talk about?
The Losers.
The Losers. I get them confused.
Yeah, that was kind of around that similar time, wasn't it? Smoking Aces is a Joe Carnahan.
It
movie.
is. It is.
But
yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Let's see you. Let's see your credits come full. I got nothing. God damn it. Let's try that again. Jesus, that was terrible. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, let's see you do tons of shit.
Yeah, do a bunch, man. I like you a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll see some of them. I feel like he probably does work really consistently, and we just don't watch any of the films.
Well, I don't want to watch
P.S.
P.S. I Love You. I don't want to see that.
No, that's fair.
Why do I want to see that?
What was he in that?
I'm just saying move away from...
Who was he in that?
Move away from... I don't know. I said I didn't see it.
Oh. Yeah.
Would you like me to tell you who he is? He played William.
Oh, that clears it up. Thank you.
It doesn't really? No. It doesn't at all. No. That's fucking hilarious. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, the CGI I thought looked really cool.
It did.
I'm a sucker for friendly animals and people being friends with animals.
Yep.
And that relationship being tested in some way. So I think I might even get like emotional.
Yeah. Well, I was already emotional when The Rock said, "What's the monkey's name?"
Yeah, I've already.
Yeah, already gone. He said, "You can't put my friend in a plane." And as soon as I heard that line, I'm like, "Fucking show this plane getting busted up by this monkey. Just fuck shit up. Do it." And I got what I wanted. Yeah. And I was like, "Yes, I'm gonna watch this. I am gonna watch this. I can't wait."
Yeah.
I don't like the wolf is supposed to be a werewolf in the game. But I'm not gonna tie myself to the game.
I think maybe they're removing the supernatural
side of things.
Because then we start dealing with all kinds of different stuff. Then it's like, okay, not only do we have these giant animals, but werewolves exist.
Yeah.
Do vampires exist
in
this
Hey,
world?
World is a vampire, Tys. Come on.
Oh my god. It's all... Maybe this is the sequel to the Dark Universe movie. This is the new Dark Universe attempt. Just put the Rock in it. It fixes everything.
It fixes everything.
All right. Well, the other trailer I really want to talk about.
That's true. We do have another one.
One more. It is called A Quiet Place.
Oh my god!
And it is John Krasinski's one of his early directorial efforts.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of his other films. He directed a movie from I think maybe 2 years ago, called The Hollers, which I remember got quite a bit of positive buzz about it. It was like a small kind of independent family comedy drama.
Yeah.
Dramedy, if you will.
Dramedy. The Hollers.
Apparently,
2016,
apparently it was well reviewed and kind of a nice little
First step
film.
Out of the gate as well. Oh shit, it had Charlie Copley and Charlie Day in it.
That's an odd pairing.
That is an odd pairing.
And yeah, so this
but yeah, A Quiet Place.
A fucking could be a real experience.
Let's just describe what the trailer had for you, Tyson.
All right, well, first of all, I just got to shout out to my partner Emma, who directed me towards this trailer.
Thanks, Em.
I would not have watched it if it was not for her. So she.
I saw Emily Blunt, and I'm like, I should watch this. But because we only had 3 days since our last taping, and I have had a fucking shit busy day.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance.
That's it.
But thank you, Em, for pointing it out to us.
And so we watched it, and it's honestly one of my favorite trailer experiences I think I've had probably this year. We are living in a world where we are forced to be silent because any noise we make causes us to be hunted down.
This is in the movie Tyson is describing, not.
No, this is what happened this morning. Yes.
Oh, this is.
No. Yes, it is in the. This is the trailer.
This is the trailer he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we're treated to kind of shots of just people trying to go about their life
putting sand down on the ground because sand doesn't.
Was it sand?
Yeah, it was sand.
Yeah, I was like, maybe it's like powder, some kind of like
powder.
maybe like talcum powder or
that's
something.
a good. Yeah,
but yeah, like
it was sand outside, but it was different inside.
Yeah, but it looks kind of, I don't know. Yeah. So obviously putting things down so when they walk, they don't crunch leaves, they don't do any of that. It's completely silent. Yeah. Really interesting touches, like the way, I like how the kids are playing a board game, and instead of having normal pieces, they've got pieces of like wool.
As they're playing Monopoly, and they roll the dice on this special carpeted area that they've put out for themselves.
Exactly.
And the dinner, they were eating on paper plates and eating salad.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, this is fully intense. And
speaking in sign language to each other.
Yeah. And all you're hearing throughout this trailer is just some birds. You're hearing nature outside. So there's natural sounds from the earth, but they're not making any sound at all.
Exactly. And obviously, because it's a horror movie of some description, we know that something's going to happen. Someone's going to make sound, and the monsters, whatever they are, we don't know.
Could be creatures,
we don't know what
they
are.
Yep.
Comes to cause all kinds of ruckus.
This has to be seen in the cinema because there is nothing more awesome than a cinema trying to be quiet.
Yeah, and
getting a jump scare.
I think so. It's a very clever idea, really, because similar to Lights Out.
Yep.
It's you're formulating a not an excuse, but you're formulating a way to create jump scares that don't feel cheap.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Jump scares, obviously, we're in kind of a scene pretty negatively these days because it's a cheap way to get a scare, and it's not lasting, and it actually it ends up kind of hurting your movie really more than helping it.
Yeah.
But if you can find a way to manufacture them organically to your story, we're talking very differently here. So I think it's very clever, this concept, the idea that we're going to film a movie where we are forced to be as quiet as possible because then any noise, and this is what usually people blame jump scares on, is that sudden noise.
Or the brief silence beforehand and then the noise. You can hear it, almost hear it coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we are going to be on the edge of our seat the entire time because we know we're not waiting for a jump scare because we feel like it's cheap and that's what this cheap ass movie is going to do.
Yeah.
We're waiting because it's part of the story.
Exactly.
We are going to have our ears so peeled. Can you peel your ears?
I think you can
have
peel
your
them.
eyes peeled.
You can have your eyes peeled. What can you do with your ears? You can prick up your ears. Your ears are going to be pricked.
My ears will be pricked the entire time because sound.
Keep going. Yeah.
Just go with it. Because sound is so integral to the story.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's really clever.
The
same way.
I just feel that I'm going to, if I do see this in the cinema, I feel like some arsehole 3 rows down is going to open his chock top.
That might be me.
Like a fucking really.
Oh, no,
I will throw something at you. I'll throw my phone. I'll throw my phone at you if that happens.
It's going to be this. As much as I'd love to see this in a cinema.
Yeah.
It could. You're right. It could be a really frustrating occasion.
It could be. Yeah.
Because, like, I am a popcorn eater in the cinema for sure.
Yep.
That's not the most quiet thing in the world.
Yeah, but it's better than someone
digging
opening
your
up
hands
a packet of chips.
Yeah. No. Oh man. Like, imagine. I love chips in a cinema too, but like, you've got to think about just how much we're so used to, ignoring all that stuff because we've got the sound so high, we've got cinema scores fucking blaring out, if I'm seeing, if we're seeing like a comic book movie or something in the cinema, it's all big and
big
loud
sounds and big action sequences and maybe a little dialogue and then jumping straight into it.
Chomping away on chips and no one can hear it anyway.
No.
It'll literally, you'll be sitting there and you'll go to grab some of your popcorn and you'll be moving. And when you get like all the good popcorns down the bottom and you have to shake the bucket to get to get the good popcorn back to the top.
Full disclosure, I don't actually eat in a cinema.
Right.
I can't. When I go with my lovely friends Rob Dog and Cam, Rob Dog feasts. He has popcorn. He has Maltesers. He has ice cream. He's
doing it right.
He's doing it right, and I'll maybe have some of his popcorn, but I'll have a chocolate treat. Like I might have Maltesers maybe, but everything is opened. Actually, no. The last time I went to the cinema at Nova, what did I say at Nova? I forget. It's gone. Everything's open before even the fucking previews. The trailers have started. Previews shows how old I am. But yeah, everything's open. So I can't touch anything.
Fair.
But I know what it's going to feel like in this cinema. Like you're going to like slowly unwrap a minty, which is already a wax paper, so it doesn't make any sound really, and you're like, shh, shut up.
It's like you've got to. It's like you've got to be like the characters in the movie and plan ahead with the most quiet movie snacks.
I would do that if I owned a cinema. I would have nothing but quiet movie
Fairy
snacks.
floss. Fairy floss would be quiet.
There you go. That's a good one. What's another good one?
Well, I mean, you can't. Nothing that you can. No cans or bottles.
No.
So get your big.
You could get like sour snakes.
Snakes,
in Glad wrap.
Glad wrap them. Yes, good point. Not bad. Or like a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
But instead of unlocking the Ziploc part of it, you just split the bottom.
You split the bottom
because you're not going to use the bag again anyway. You got to think ahead, man.
I know, you got to think ahead.
Anyway, otherwise you get hunted.
A Quiet Place.
Yeah, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt.
Wait for this.
I think.
I'm
really pumped.
This
I think
is
it's gonna
amazing.
Be great. Yeah, really. And
2018 though.
Yeah, I think
maybe it'll April 2018. So maybe it'll come up in the coming. Looking forward to in 2018 episode of Nick Tys.
Yeah, I'm excited for that episode. I do like our looking forward.
Yeah, I liked it.
What's in store for 2000? Fucking whatever year it'll be next year.
Yeah, 18. All right. Well, shall we do what did we watch this week?
Let's do that. Ba-dum-bum.
Oh, energy's low. All right then.
Energy is low because the temperature is high.
The temperature is high, which makes us letharged.
Totes letharged.
Well, I didn't watch anything new. It was 3 days, so literally I can tell you what I watched. I was gonna like, like, maybe I'll tell them that I watched this, and when I didn't really watch it. But that is a lie, people, and I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I watched 2 episodes of The West Wing.
Right.
I'm in season 4, end of season 4 right now.
Okay.
The inauguration is just about to happen. All of that stuff.
Yeah.
But what mostly I watched was just YouTube binging Captain Christian's online essays.
Oh yeah,
he's
good.
Yeah, if you don't know what these are, which I doubt that there is a person in the world that doesn't know what these are, but if you don't,
if you're listening to this, you'll be aware of that kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I love his. And it's more than just his opinions. He's not just giving his opinions. He's opening our eyes to things that we didn't see.
Yeah, I feel like he comes from more like almost like a historical background and a social kind of context more than giving opinions on things.
Yeah, exactly.
And his production quality is stunning.
Out of this world.
The videos are gorgeous to look at.
But just going into like the designs of the alien, the sound of Star Wars, we all know those sounds. Like, if someone played me,
so there's an episode on
on just the sounds of the sound effects in Star Wars and how familiar we are with them. But yeah, it's just amazing to watch all of these things. And my favorite, which topped it, not only could he get any better with doing like the Superman one, the Batman one, and the Wonder Woman one. You know, it's not about that. It's about the fact that he took my favorite director and pointed out things that I've always wanted to say to people. Like,
right.
He did a David Fincher one, and he pointed out the minute detail that Fincher goes into.
Sure.
The reason that he does so many takes and all of these things, and he did it with Zodiac.
Cool.
Which not a lot of people have seen.
Zodiac's my almost favorite Fincher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah,
Zodiac.
I love Zodiac. I don't love it more than 7. 7 is my favorite. But
sure.
yeah.
I mean, they're all good.
Panic Room, I need to watch again because I feel that Panic Room was kind of his.
It's a bit trashy, but it's
I think it was his studio.
Yeah.
Conversing, going, do you mind if I do this? Oh, you don't mind? Oh, okay. And then kind of him hitting the big budget Fight Club and going, oh wow, let him do what he wants.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah. That's all I watched.
Yeah, just in regards to that, I think there's probably a couple that are worth mentioning as well. I really like if anyone has time to look at a guy called Nerd Writer. The Nerd Writer.
Nerd Writer?
It's not the greatest name, unfortunately. But he does... it's not always film and television-related stuff. Sometimes it's pop culture. It's politically inclined stuff sometimes. Sure. But he writes very similar kind of style video essays where he's taking something maybe that we've kind of overlooked about one of our, a certain movie or a certain director. He also did a David Fincher one recently, which was all about how Fincher moves his camera with his characters, and it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And his production quality is also excellent, absolutely excellent. There's a couple. You'll find a bunch if you can if you explore enough. There's a heap of these kind of guys out there. And usually YouTube is pretty clever like that. That once you subscribe to one, it'll starts suggesting the other ones for you. There's at least 10 or 12 different people that I'd say I follow kind of regularly. When they post a new video, I'll tend to watch it straight away.
Yeah.
And I just love that this is what YouTube is kind of becoming.
Yeah,
especially for me. Like I don't give a fuck about.
I fucking
hate PewDie or whatever. Like, is that a guy? That's a guy, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I'm glad that you. I literally have no idea.
I have no
that makes
idea
me
who
happy.
you're talking about. Sorry.
Because sometimes I'll click the trending button just to see. Just to see what's trending.
It's just fucking cat videos. Fuck.
Well, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But no, it used to be cat videos, but it's not anymore, man.
God
it's these people that their video is literally them. I don't know, talking about going to the shop.
Sure.
And it's got a really funny thumbnail because it's like, you'll never guess what happened when I went to fucking Target, and it's got fucking 13 million views in 2 days.
Yeah, fuck off.
So this YouTube stardom stuff, I've got zero interest in it because it's not content. It's so bizarre.
It's filler.
Yeah.
It's shitty filler.
Whereas you can go to the other side of YouTube and find these really intelligent people who have a platform.
Spent their time just to give us this slice of entertainment.
Yeah, and I dig that stuff, man. And this is kind of, it's the new way to kind of approach film education in a way, because we're living in such a different time now that you don't have to. Well, it's not that you don't. It's still great to go to a film school and stuff like that. But think about it. Here, we have no access to anything like that. We don't have a film school the way
that has
lots
been around
of different
for
American
years.
institutions have film schools.
Yeah.
We don't have anything like that. So when it comes to film criticism, especially, I'm not talking about journalistic criticism. I mean film criticism. Yeah. There's very little opportunities for Australian people to experience really what that is. You either have to do it yourself, and it used to be trudging through these dry as fuck books and you find out about the French New Wave and all this kind of shit, and you have to just plug your way through it. And now you get these really fascinating, very smart and well produced things, and in 15 minutes you learn something new about your favorite director, a certain genre.
How Jurassic Park's visual imagery was so ahead of its time that we completely take it for granted.
Well, exactly, all that kind of stuff. So I'm all about it too, man, and I think that's
really awesome.
We could potentially even start kind of recommending some good stuff if we do come across a good one. I'd be more than happy to start trying to plug it, because there's some really good stuff out there.
I'm going to put the David Fincher up on the Nick Tys wall, just for something different, because if people hasn't seen this will start you off on what Captain Christian is. And I'll definitely, because I don't know, what is it, Nerd
Writer.
Nerd Writer. I'm going to look that up.
One word.
Awesome.
Yes. All right, well, very quickly, I just want to talk about a movie that watched probably about a week ago now. Yeah. And I was going to mention it on the last episode, but we cut it for time, so we're going to talk about it now.
Oh yeah, go for it.
And that's the 2005 thriller Hostage.
Oh, Bruce Willis.
Starring Bruce Willis.
Nice.
Yeah. I rewatched this movie for some god unknown reason. I think I might have been hungover.
I love that you do this.
And I was just going through my thing, and I was like, well, what do I want to watch? Oh, I don't want anything too serious. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I've heard that's awesome, but I'm maybe a little bit not in the mood.
This is on my list, but I really can't be
I just need something that's so ridiculously easily digestible.
Yeah.
And then came across this, and I was like, I've always wanted to rewatch this, because I remember quite liking it the first time I saw it.
Me too. I own it.
You own it?
I own it because my wife, if she does meet Bruce Willis, I know that I will quickly become divorced, and she will marry him.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. Which is, that's fair enough.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, you can't argue with that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, I was like, okay, I'll give it a rewatch and see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't think it's much good. I'm not quite sure what about it took me the first time I watched it, because I was trying to remember. I think I found it really kind of surprising the first time I watched it. I think I was kind of caught off guard at some of the plot kind of shifts, and
it's
I was like, wow, this is not going in the direction that I thought it would go, and I think I kind of respected that.
I haven't seen it in a while. It's sort of what is the term that they use now? A home invasion.
It is,
but with a cop. Is Bruce Willis a cop?
It's really, this is what I initially thought was like kind of like clever, construction of screenplay.
Yeah.
Now it's convoluted horseshit. Like there is so many things going on in this movie.
Really?
So Bruce Willis plays he was a hostage negotiator.
Sure.
Right? And at the start of the film, we have the cliched old
him doing his shtick,
and it doesn't go well, and wife and child get murdered.
And he says goodbye to that life,
and so he gives it up because he doesn't want to have to go through that anymore.
Fair deal.
But he was the best in the biz, man. He was the best fucking.
He was
and
best
I love.
of the best.
It's so funny, like the way that the first shot of him doing his negotiating, because he's got a headset on, talking to him, is him like lying down on top of a van.
Oh.
Like
really,
and just like leaning back,
he's
chilling
so
out.
good at it.
He's so good that he
doesn't need
but
to
he's kind of quirky too, so he
fuck
picks
off.
a weird spot to do it, and it's just kind of like, all right, whatever.
And I remember this is kind of the last time that Bruce Willis actually gave a shit. Isn't it?
100% agree. He actually is trying really hard in this because he has to do some pretty intense stuff. Like because he. He's obviously haunted by the demons of the fucking kid and the mum that he couldn't save.
Yeah.
So when his own family gets put in jeopardy, it becomes very kind of, hard for him to deal with it. And he gets to kind of, flex his acting chops a little bit.
Nice.
Anyway, so to get through the plot, because it actually is ridiculous.
Let's hear it.
So he now works as a small-time cop in a town that has kind of like a really rich side. And then there's these young hooligans who follow a girl home, like because they see a girl at a convenience store and they're like, let's follow them home.
Dodgy.
It turns out that it's a super rich place. They go in just to fuck around with some stuff.
Yeah.
End up taking them all hostage, demanding all this money.
Right.
Bruce Willis comes in as like the cop on duty and is like, okay, cool, but I'm not going to look after this because it's not for me. You know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're the negotiator. Great, enjoy. I'm just the cop.
Take it easy.
Hope it all goes well. Let me know what happens.
Right.
He goes to go home.
Yep.
He gets kidnapped.
Yep.
By some dudes because the guy that's in the house was meant to be getting them a DVD with government secrets on it.
What the
or
fuck?
Some shit. Or some
I don't
shit.
remember this movie at
He was
all.
he's like an accountant for the mob or something, or he's like a. Or,
I don't remember that.
And so,
so he has to do it now.
They then kidnap his family
fuck.
and say you have to go back because you have to get the DVD and bring it to us. So.
Jesus.
It's just, and I'm watching it just like, who thought this was?
You know what? It was probably like a home invasion at the start, and then they just kept adding.
Adding shit in.
Just kept adding.
And it's based. I think I did check this, that I think it's based on a novel, and
God.
It would make so much more sense as a novel. It's based as a novel.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. When you read a book like that,
Yeah.
it becomes like a page turner. It's like Da Vinci Code. Fucking, like it'll end a chapter with him getting dragged into a car, and you're like, oh shit, why is he getting? What do you mean? I thought he was just going to get to go home for the night, etc. Yeah, but it's just a big convoluted mess.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that. All I remember is the home invasion part, Bruce Willis going in to save it, and Ben Foster being the start of Ben Foster just being a crazy, wild guy who just might take it a little bit too far.
It's the start. For me, it was the start of Ben Foster as a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
And he does it so well, man. He
if you need a weirdo in your film, you're getting Ben Foster.
Because
he did it well in Hell or High Water.
Oh,
he did it in
so
this.
well in that. 30 Days of Night. I really love his weirdo
really?
in 30 Days of Night.
Oh, God.
But
so
my
funny.
first exposure to Ben Foster was like Get Over It,
Oh,
the teen comedy about these kids trying to put on a musical version of Midsummer Night's Dream. And then he starts doing this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what else?
Get Over It.
310 to Yuma. He's
Oh,
terrifying
really?
in that as well.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
He's like the hothead, like lieutenant of Russell Crowe.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
the only
runny nose. So.
Get Over It. That cover for some reason reminds me of Smash Mouth.
Yeah, because it's so late 90s. That cover.
That cover.
Yeah,
with the guy with the really white hair or something.
It's got Cisco.
I forget it. Oh, really?
It's the guy that sung Thong Song.
Thong Song.
Yeah.
And everyone remembers that song.
You better believe it.
Good Lord.
What a banger.
Oh, Hostage.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
I don't know if I can happily recommend it as like a go out and watch it, but it's
But it's okay.
It's kind of an intriguing film just to see just how far off the rails it does go, and that Bruce Willis, like I said, does give a fuck.
Yeah, it's one of the... He started cashing it in after that. He really did.
Yeah, poor Bruce.
But that's okay. I'm sure he'll come back to us eventually.
One day.
I feel he needs to do a TV series or something like that.
I feel like he needs to. Yeah,
he needs to do something.
I feel like he'll never do TV. He's one of those guys that I reckon thinks TV is not. He's too good for TV now.
He's too good for TV now.
But he needs to embrace the fact that he's an old man and not do an action movie. Like do.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, he better put on his chops come 2019, Tys.
Why?
Because he's going to be playing David Dunn again.
Oh yes, of course.
We totally forgot.
Holy shit.
Better put on those chops.
Hey, there's no way he's going to phone that in.
No, you can't phone that in.
Because
you can't. This is potential
and he had a really good relationship
with
M. Night. So I think him going back to that franchise, I think it means that he knows he has to kind of...
Yeah, he has to okay, I'm going to earn my paycheck.
Yeah. Oh, do you mean I can't do this one in one day in the same
for
costume while I'm on a phone?
Can't we just get my stand in? Look at him, I've got 3.
Yeah, look, just get a bald guy, man. Everyone looks the same from the back when they're bald. It's fine. Just throw them up there.
Oh, fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2019. Bring that sequel.
In 19?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, it can take all the time it needs.
No, that's true. That's true.
All the time it needs.
Because it's already filming, so it's funny that it's...
Yeah, special effects and all that shit. And actually, no, it's not heavy special effects. What am I talking about? It's not fucking Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's funny. Oh, well.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll bring the date forward.
Indeed. I'm done with that. Let's not talk about that anymore.
Fair enough. Shall we get on with our feature prez?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Prezzy.
And now for our feature presentation.
Have you ever used a Prezi, the online PowerPoint style?
No.
No?
No.
It's called Prezi.
It's a Prezzy.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
You can pick all kinds of backgrounds and stuff. It's really fascinating.
Like MySpace?
Yeah, exactly like MySpace.
Maybe we should make a Nick Tice MySpace.
Oh my god.
Fuck. Is that still a thing? Is MySpace still a thing?
I'm clickety-clacking right now. I just want to know what happens when you go to MySpace.
Did you have a MySpace, Tice?
I did not, no.
Really?
No.
Neither did I.
I
missed out. But I never had... What was when people first had the internet, because my parents were the parents that were like... Hey, I was like, young Nick was like, hey, Mum, Dad, let's get the internet. And they're like, no, they'll hack our computer and get all of our files. And I'm like, you fucking... No, they won't.
MySpace is still a thing. But it's like a news and like all kinds of different stuff. Like you can search for music, you can search for videos, people.
Really?
You can connect with people still.
Oh, MySpace.
Listen to Bjork's new song.
Oh, fuck off.
Well, there you go. Good on you, MySpace. Changing with the times.
Well, there you go. I'm going to go home and I'm going to look up my wife's MySpace and see if it's still there.
Yes.
Yeah, how rad is that? I just love that. The only thing I liked about it was the fact that when you open someone's page, whatever music they chose for you to listen to, it would start playing as soon as you open their page.
Yeah.
I think Facebook should do something like that. I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
It was an important decision.
It was.
It said a lot about you.
It was.
Yeah.
And to be honest, most of the people's MySpace page music was a fuckload of emo songs.
I was about to say, which Blink-182 song
or My
Chemical Romance song were you going to choose?
What were you going to choose from?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, feature presentation.
Feature press.
We are doing
1986.
Well, let's do some research here, shall we?
Come on, geez.
God, what the
production
fuck?
value?
What is this?
It's not our fault, people. It's hot, okay? It's fucking warm. It's really warm in here.
It's
warm.
It's so hot.
And we can't have the aircon on because you'll hear it.
It'll be way too loud.
So we're sitting in here.
1986. Stand by me.
86. I was right. Did I say 86?
Yeah.
Nice. Stand by me, Tice.
Rob Reiner. A director who I would never call like one of my favorites. I find it really strange. I don't ever really think...
I know...
Oh, I love Rob Reiner as a director.
Yeah.
I don't really think like that, but he's barely made a bad movie.
Yeah, that's what I know him as. I know him as, if it comes up with directed by Rob Reiner, I know that I'm in for something solid, something amazing.
Oh, I should say...
And
to a certain time.
Pardon
he
me.
barely made
Yeah,
a bad
recently
movie. He's obviously not.
Yeah,
as,
he's not. He was an 80s guy, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
The man made This Is Spinal Tap, for crying out loud, and that just needs its comeuppance right there.
And that's it. And I mean, well, Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
When Harry Met Sally, which I still stand by, I think is probably one of the all-time great romantic comedies. What
else did he do?
Yeah, like Few Good Men, Misery, American President.
Yes.
Like that's a fucking...
That's a solid box set right there.
That is
you
a
getting
run.
that fucking box set? You like, thank you. Merry Christmas to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And he's also like a very good actor as well.
He is.
And
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I enjoy him whenever he pops up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of funny to think of the guy, you know, when you watch this film, it doesn't really necessarily feel like it has the stamp of a director. Like it doesn't really have this kind of real personality or his personality running through it. But I think he's obviously very effective storyteller because he is a great actor.
Yeah.
He obviously directs his acting very well.
Yep.
I think there's some just... You forget that these are kids watching this, that they're like 12, 13 to 15-year-old kids.
I did make that. It just, with that, and while you're watching it, is normally with kids of this age, you maybe have to cut away or just edit it a bit so that you're not... But this is... Rob keeps the camera on them, and these kids are just giving us a beautiful, nuanced performance that just ticks so many boxes, and he just leaves it there.
Yeah.
And the emotions that are coming out of these kids, you can tell that they've done their work.
Yeah, and they feel like, you know, when you watch a kid actor cry.
Oh, yeah.
And it can be really...
slightly forced.
Well,
slightly
forced, and also,
ad.
like, you can tell that it's a different kind of crying. Like, you know, whatever they've used in order to get them to cry, it's on a different level to what they're actually crying about.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't feel that way during this at all. Like, it feels so... All the emotional outbursts that these kids have, and they all kind of get one each, they all feel true to that moment, that story that they're telling, or how they feel in that second.
Yeah.
I think that's really impressive. Must have been really hard to achieve that.
Well, knowing I've watched this making of a few times for some reason. I don't know why. I think it was one of the earliest DVDs I had, and because it was, I just when it was new.
DVDs, man, I used to watch every single special feature.
No, but I'm talking about it was one of the first. So when you first got your DVD player, and you just kept playing that one DVD all the way through. So yeah, I think this was around about the first.
Sure.
But yeah, knowing that they went away. Rob took the kids and a few people away on a camp, and they all just hung out, and he workshopped the scenes, and they had a really decent rehearsal with the script before coming, it just shows the skill of Rob Reiner and what he's willing to do with the actors in order to give us a really decent film.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. The Stephen Kingness of it. Was that something you were going to mention?
No, go for it. You keep going.
I think he also is... one of the things I really like about Stephen King and why I enjoy reading his books is because he has this uncanny ability to make you nostalgic for a time you weren't alive in.
Yeah.
Or you weren't around for.
Or you wish you were.
Or you wish you were, exactly.
Yeah.
And his love of that time, that era, like it runs through so much of his stuff. That real kind of like, and look, it's, you know, I think it's probably typical of a lot of people of that generation, but that idea that times, that simpler life, you know, of the 50s and 60s, where not so much simpler as in your human relationships, but everything.
Life
it was smaller,
and
it was isolated in a way that I think we don't have anymore.
No.
And
everything is possible now.
Yeah.
And
I think Rob Reiner captures that really well. And the two people that adapted this screenplay who were nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
And I was like, why didn't they
have really captured that very well. Just that, I mean, obviously, you know, it's what I love about this is that every single fucking Stephen King thing is based in Maine.
Yeah.
And set in Maine, or set in, you know, a fictional part of Maine.
Yeah.
And these people have changed it
to Castle Rock.
Well, Castle Rock was the name of the place, but it's Castle Rock, Oregon in the film.
Yeah.
Where it was Castle Rock, Maine. In the book. But that small town, simplistic life where you've got everyone knows each other. Everyone, it's all very, very typical American.
Yeah.
It's what I think a lot of people think of when they say describe the most American thing you can think of.
Oh, sure.
To me, it's kind of part of that. It's it's a kid sitting outside a diner with an American flag waving, and a red pickup truck driving past.
Yeah.
That is it for me, and I think that's what this gets really well, and he's able to translate that to the screen really well. I think.
Yeah, so true. So for me, what I was going to say before is there are very few films that come close to being perfect, and I use that word very carefully. But this is kind of one of them for me. There is no, rewatching this, and I've watched this quite a few times. There was no bit for me to go make a cup of tea. There was no, there was no.
It's also very short, so there's no chance.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this was just there was not a spot to be dropped in this movie.
No,
even with everything.
Well, I will say, look, yes, I think it's a really, really great film. I wouldn't go. I don't feel like it crosses into that kind of territory for me. That kind of
really.
There's nothing that I would change. There's a couple of bits that I don't love.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't love the Lardass
What?
story. Yeah, it's fun and it's fine, but it's like it works much better.
Boom, bada, boom. No,
I just think it makes a lot more sense in the book, whereas in the film, it works fine on its own.
Yeah.
But we're just basically taking a detour for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's nice.
And that's that's what I'm saying. It's nice. It's fine. I don't need it, and I don't think it hurts or hinders it. But it's just for me, it's a strange little detour that at the end of the day you think, okay, but how does this help the story? What is its overall like? Does it say anything about these characters other than Gordy's an effective kind of? He actually does have good stories.
Yeah,
like, and not even that, because it's such a teenage story. Like,
but it
reminds me of
story.
like a Paul Jennings short story.
Exactly.
Remember Paul Jennings?
But the kid he's a kid. He hasn't
and that's
become Stephen King yet.
I kind of would have been interested to hear
the rest of Lardass'
hear
story?
him tell it as opposed to see it.
Yeah.
Or something like see where he has to kind of see the other kids' reactions to it and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just it's fine, and I don't laugh though. I kind of
really because
what's the other? It reminds me of like an episode Around the Twist, obviously, because they were all based on the Paul Jennings things. So it's just kind of like and back to the story.
Oh, I love it though.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
All right, I love it. I think it does. I think it shows. I'm not going to say that you're wrong because that's your opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it shows where Gordy's head is at that time. Him being the outcast he feels like the outcast.
Yeah.
Of all the people, and so he's putting himself into Lardass' shoes, sort of thing.
In some way, he just wants to.
Wants to open up and vomit all over fucking everyone.
Drop a grenade in the middle of the whole fucking place and run away.
Yeah. I will ask something though of that scene, which I may have asked someone else before, but when it says when Lardass got ready for it and he drinks the bottle of castor oil and then cracks an egg in his mouth, what the fuck does that do? Does that make it so that you are going to throw up? Are you going to googs that right now?
Yeah, I'm giving it a googs.
Because seriously, I don't understand. I was does it mean that it's just going to? Because for me, what he's doing is he's lubricating his throat so that when he does throw up, it doesn't fucking hurt him. That's what it says to me, and he can just sit back and watch everyone just suck it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't get it. And the egg. It was
maybe
weird.
it's what you do before you do. But why did he drink the whole bottle?
Yeah, it was the whole bottle.
Hang on. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. We're gonna get an answer. I don't know how
I love that you've googled this.
I've ended up on something called Cougar Board. I don't know if this is this it?
I really don't think you should be on Cougar Board your age, especially your age. A man your age, you're going to get picked up by cougars.
Have you said Stand By Me?
They're going to love on you. They're going to love on you hard.
No, it's not. They're not
make
answering
you do
it.
their lawn.
They didn't answer. He drinks the castor oil and also swallows a raw egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what happened.
Yeah.
Someone tell me why.
Okay. So while you're looking that up, what is your relationship with this movie, Tys? Did you watch this at their age? Because I feel that it doesn't have a lot to do with it, but it can help.
Sorry, say that one more time.
When did you first see Stand By Me?
I am pretty certain I saw it quite young.
Yeah.
But it was never like I haven't seen this movie a lot, to be honest. I've maybe seen it 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
In my life.
Decent.
I don't think it's definitely not one of the ones that are repeated viewings.
Right.
So it's.
I could tell you this movie verbatim.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And look, I think I would have seen it when I was a kid, probably one more time when I was a teenager.
Yep.
Once maybe 10 years ago, and then today. So
today.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Or yesterday.
But still, you love it because you're a man who likes good cinema.
Well, it's a really good movie, and I don't think it's not hurt by the fact that you can't, you haven't grown up with these characters. I think if anything, I might have liked it a little bit more now than I did when I was their age, because you obviously now have this reflection of poignancy to it all.
And I think that's what Rob Reiner does so well, because that's what I was going to say. So I watched this movie when I had
given up. I can't find shit. Can someone please tell us why?
Why
is it just something that everyone knows makes you vomit, or was
we
he
need
like?
To know this.
Was he doing something so he could eat more pie to then vomit?
Exactly. So my the first time I saw this was in high school when my teacher called in sick and we had a substitute teacher, and they literally just came in and chucked on Stand By Me and said, "Here, watch this." I'm fucking off.
I'm almost certain I watched this at school at some point. Yeah, you're totally right.
So I saw. I think it was right up to how long does, because it's a short film. I think I had 2 periods. No, it wouldn't have been the whole thing. Anyway, I watched about half of it and then went home, and that was a Friday.
Yeah.
And then went home and went, "Mum, we're going to the video store. Let's go to the video store. Come on.
Yeah.
And because Friday was Mum's food shopping day. Sorry about that. So I would go with her. She would drop me off at the video store. I found Stand By Me, and it was amazing. But I think I agree with you. I think rewatching it now, because remembering a time when you had these friends and you went around and rode bikes, you had to deal with bullies, you just kind of did what you wanted. My favourite scenes are the ones where they know that they're kids and they're getting away with shit. Like when they're up in their treehouse and River Phoenix's character says to Corey Feldman, he goes, "Make your draw, shit heap," and then he laughs to himself because he's like, "Look what I just said." I love those moments.
No,
and
it's
just the film captures what it's like to be that, and helps us remember what it was like to be that age so well that I think that's
it's very and that's kind of part of the whole where it wasn't a time that we were alive in, but it shares a lot of kind of memories with my time of being that age, despite it wasn't the 50s, the 60s.
No,
but there were the songs that we had that were that we would kind of dance around and sing to. Or,
we were dancing to Chumbawamba.
I just want that scene where they're doing lollipop. Instead it's
I get knocked down, but I get up again. I fucking hate that song. Awful song.
But yeah, and also just the it's what I like is the way that they kind of all express their relationship with their families. And I think it ends up giving you kind of it might not necessarily just be one of them, but you end up kind of maybe having the one that is most like you, or you're a combination of these two, or something like that, because there's all little things that you can pick out of each one of them and apply it to yourself.
Exactly.
Anyone that's had any kind of relationship with post-traumatic stress or anything like that obviously sees quite a lot of what Teddy's going through, having to kind of experience what his dad, what happened to his dad after the war.
Yeah.
Or if you've ever dealt with like a death in the family, obviously then what Gordy's going through. And they don't spend a huge amount of time talking about that kind of stuff.
Which is good.
They just kind of throw it in there and let you kind of see the reactions to that just in their day-to-day conversations. Dealing
with heavy issues though, these kids. Those are some.
Well, they got some
heavy issues that you're already dealing with.
Except for Vern, he seems to be alright.
Vern, I love Vern. I love Vern because Vern is the innocent one.
Yeah.
Vern is the one who reacts to ideas like seeing a dead body and going, "Oh shit, I'm gonna have nightmares, aren't I?" Or someone faints and he goes, "Wow, I've never met anyone who has fainted before."
And he's so upset about the ghosts when they maybe it's a ghost. He's like, "No, don't even say it."
I won't say my bad swears.
And how sad he is when he drops the cone. Breaks my heart. Yeah.
But yeah,
he doesn't seem to have huge family issues.
I feel he's the most innocent one.
Yeah.
I think he's the one who, because Chris, Teddy, and Gordy is going through it at the time, they're all very much being forced to deal with some very grown-up issues.
Yeah, and maybe a little earlier than you should.
Yeah, exactly.
And, the coming-of-age story, I mean, you could almost really put this as almost not the inventor of it, but
no, but it's the
I
staple.
think it is the staple. If you want to find what's a good coming of age drama, usually the first suggestion people make is Stand By Me.
Yeah,
and it's because so much of that is what makes a good coming of age drama. I think is kids that are forced to kind of take that next step. Not because they're turning a certain age, but because of the circumstances that lead them there.
The journey that happens within the space of time that we're sitting with them and what happens in that time. Yeah,
and it's it doesn't even matter that they went and
saw the body
saw that's their body or spent that they probably would have spent those 2 days together anyway. It's that they were in a place where they were comfortable having these conversations with each other.
Yeah,
and knowing that it's not going to fix these things, but somebody has to try and change something. And I think, obviously Chris it's a very clear one for Chris, that just the way he's just like, I'm not going to get out of this town.
Yeah.
That's a really mature thought.
But not only that, I'm not going to be able to beat the Chambers name.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to look at me with a certain point of view, and I'm not going to escape it ever.
Yeah.
So I might as well take shop classes and just, be a garbo or whatever.
That's a mature choice that he's forced to make, and then so it springboards him into
maturity. Looking at it like that as well for a kid of his age.
Yeah.
But he's such.
And it's nice that he, I mean, the epilogue at the end where we get these kind of the wrap ups. It's nice that I love that Chris did do all that stuff. Because I think it quite easily could have just gone the other way and been a bit of a sad tale of and Chris never really did get out of Castle Rock. He married and blah blah blah. Like he could still have the same end to his scenario.
Absolutely.
But I like that he made a point of saying no, he fought it. He went to college. He busted
his ass.
Busted his ass. It was really hard for him.
Yeah.
But he did something.
Yeah. I think Chris is. For me, Chris is the saddest character out of all of them.
Yeah.
Yes, we're looking sort of this story is through Gordy's eyes a little more.
Yeah.
But I feel that Chris is the saddest character, and just with him, like he takes care of everyone. Yes, he's taking care of Gordy because they're kind of best friends, and you kind of see that. But he's helping Teddy as well, and he looks after Vern and things like that. Tells Vern to shut up and dude, that's enough. You need to quiet down now and things like that. But yeah, and it's just so nice to see what happens to him in the end. It's heartbreaking, if anything.
Yeah, sorry, I just had some water.
That's okay.
Okay, so in the book, everyone dies, right? Spoiler alert for the body.
Spoiler alert for the body.
Okay, yeah. So, I can't remember exactly, but Chris is actually the last of them to die.
Right.
Not Gordy. Gordy's fine.
Right.
Vern and Teddy were already dead when Chris dies in the book.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's a good change.
Yeah.
I think the idea that,
because how did they die in the book? Was it natural causes? Or you don't remember? Did Teddy get into the army? No.
I think someone in they were just like random happenings.
Oh, right.
So it was like a fire or something. Someone was in a fire, and then someone maybe got sick or something. It wasn't like they weren't all like Chris, where it was like this tragic kind of he got into war, and he died there. It wasn't all ironic, like the way Chris's kind of is.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually a really good change for the film, because I think one thing I think they've obviously understood is, and I think. You have to make this choice when you're making the film adaptation, is that Gordy and Chris are the main characters.
Yeah, they're the stronger
Vern and
bond.
Teddy are the supporting friends.
Yeah,
and yes, they've got some stuff to deal with as well. And we want I'm not saying that we don't care about them as much.
Yeah.
But it is their relationship is less our focus.
Yeah,
and so I like the fact that they just kind of went on and had kind of boring lives. I mean, that sounds kind of harsh, but
no,
they just kind of lived a normal life. Like Teddy kind of had a bit. Yeah.
Teddy
wanted to get into the army. They wouldn't let him, and he ended up in and out of jail every now and a little bit, and then he's doing odd jobs and stuff like that. Like he's living a hard life because That's the fucking
card
card he was
dealt.
dealt. Exactly.
I love the line at the end where kind of Vern and Teddy go off. And he says, we didn't really see each other. We saw each other around school for a bit, and then, we didn't really see each other. And this is what happens with life. Friends coming out of your life like busboys in a cafe, and it's really true.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so fucking true.
And like, I like how he I don't know, I can't remember the exact language, but he specifically mentions how it's not even like you don't see them. It's that you see them. But you don't acknowledge it anymore. Yeah. Like, and I'm sure at some point if you did go, oh hey man,
what's going on?
Remember that summer, man, when we did that? It
awesome.
Wouldn't be like, get the fuck away from me, freak. No. Like, it'd be like, yeah, man, for sure. But it's that was then, you know what I mean? And I like that acknowledgement, because that's something that I think, like, it gets forgotten a little bit. Like, this isn't new information anyway.
No.
This isn't the most insightful fucking. No one's ever examined that friends grow apart before. I just like that he made specific mention of that detail, because I think that gets forgotten sometimes.
That's
the fact
favorite.
that it's not just that you're physically apart. You could be standing next to each other. You could be sitting next to each other in class.
Yeah.
But you're just not. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, you got your own things to
There's
deal with.
There's no hard feelings.
Everyone
just,
deals with their own things. Everyone's got their own problems.
Man. Yeah. I don't know anybody that I was friends with
in high school.
Like, I've got friends from high school still. Only a couple, like, real handful.
Yeah.
Nobody from early friends.
Early friends. Yeah.
No, like, couldn't even tell you, like, where they are, what they're doing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no hard feelings. Like, it's not if I ran into one and saw them, I'm sure we'd have a great chat and stuff. But that's it though, man. And we had some good times, man. I used to go bike riding with dudes that lived around my street. We used to spend hours together. Shit happens.
Shit happens. Yeah, exactly.
That's my insightful,
I do agree with you. I do agree.
Examination of friendship.
It's gold.
Shit happens, man.
Shit happens, man. Has Stephen King gone on record and said that he is Gordy? Like, I know that it's not 100% him, but it's
apparently
clear that
everything that happens to the group, so not just Gordy, has happened to him or someone he knew personally.
Right. Oh,
so
okay.
I don't think Gordy is specifically himself. I think he's put a bit of himself into everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as I know, he calls because he didn't want to license it. I
remember he wrote it under his pseudonym, didn't he?
No, he wrote this one. This one was under his name, but he didn't want to give the rights out to film it. Like, he was really protective of it because I think he calls it his most personal story.
Yeah.
And so he's obviously very attached to these characters and the events, and he doesn't want it to be too. No one likes to air
the laundry,
the laundry for everybody to see.
Exactly,
and so it can be, that can be pretty tough. And I know he didn't want to license it, so there was Rob Reiner had to work really hard
to convince him,
and then finally did, and then I think he said it's one of the best.
I think he did.
Adaptations
I remember saying that
of his stories that he's ever seen. And look, at the time, it probably was because, I mean, I'm not 100% certain, but I don't think many of his non-horror stories had been adapted before this.
No, that's true.
I think he was kind of thought of as just this
horror writer,
this shock kind of guy. Like, Carrie obviously exploded, which was probably about 10 years earlier, maybe 8 to 10 years earlier.
Misery was before Stand By Me.
Misery's after.
After? Oh, right.
Yeah, that's why he let Rob Reiner do Misery.
Right.
Because of this
connection.
But so you've got this guy who's known for something very particular. He's got a story that has no horror elements in it whatsoever. Still manages to have a dead body in it though, which I think is kind of says a lot about him as a writer. It's kind of like
he has to have
there's always going to be just something.
It has to be a little bit, just a little bit.
So it's going to show a completely different side to him to an audience. You'd want to be really careful about that. You'd want to know for certain that it's going to get it right. And so that's fair. I think it's I can understand why he would have been so protective of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's the?
So for me also, this was my first Kiefer Sutherland film.
Oh, interesting.
And what a performance to start off with. Seriously, this is, for me, he immortalizes the bully.
Well, this is no, he does. This is
just giving a completely unflinching performance.
Yes. Here's the thing about school bullies.
Go on.
Right, and I think we have to kind of do we have to examine it in the POV of these kids?
Or are you talking?
Was Ace really going to kill him?
I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to know.
No, but I think this is part of it.
I think he was gonna hurt him.
Yeah.
I don't think he was gonna.
No, and I think maybe he was gonna, like put the dull side to his neck and scare the fuck out of him or something. Because
Why?
at the end of the day,
he's still a human. Yeah.
Like, he's not going to kill this kid out here because then suddenly...
There's so many witnesses.
Suddenly it's a very different thing altogether. And look, I know murder happens and people do murder each other.
Sure.
But it's not painted in a way like... he's just a bit of a dick. Like, I don't think he's ever truly presented with like actual murderous intent.
No, he's just a dick.
So do we maybe think that a lot of, especially the way that they view, kind of the way they talk about Sick Balls, Chopper, that Ace Merrill is their kind of not overthought, but their exaggerated version of this school bully.
Okay.
Like, we're seeing it through their POV a little bit. That he's he's the baddest of the bad. But in reality, he was just another bully.
He was just
a bit of a dick. Because you actually notice his attitude is a bit different in the scenes where he's with his own crew.
Yeah.
They're just kind of dicks. They're just,
they're all dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and well, here's my point of view. Get in the fucking car.
Like, exactly.
It's not like he doesn't walk up to him and, say, get in the car, I'm going to fucking cut your fucking left nut or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that. They're all getting funny tats together. So, they obviously,
So badass.
So then to have him in those moments, like, and I think what's really funny is, not funny, but it's the Gordy and Chris scene where he takes his hat.
Yeah.
That I think is probably the worst thing he does in the movie.
Yeah, because it's his brother's hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know that.
No, of course not.
There's no, like, so for him, he's just pinched a kid's hat. Like,
he doesn't care.
But
but for us
because
and
it's
the
through
audience,
the
it's
POV
huge.
of Gordy and Chris,
Yeah.
it is the worst possible thing that he could do.
Yeah.
So I reckon, I think there's a little bit of, I like this is just fucking word vomit now. I'm just kind of thinking about some shit because I think he does a really great performance. But
well, when I watched it this time, the first thing that came to my mind now, instead of looking at him as a character who is just doing his job and just bullying these kids, is in my head I'm like, I wonder what Ace's family life is like. There's a reason he's fucking like this. He's probably getting beaten up by a drunken old man.
Yeah,
who,
for sure.
Is the same as Chris.
But it's the man. It's
I know, but I don't.
They've all been beaten up by all the bullies.
I know.
Like, I'd actually love it to see a movie where Ace Merrill goes home
and he's got a fine, and
beautiful,
he's fine.
beautiful family, and he's just like, "Fucking, you two are the worst. Like, you're just so perfect."
This is shit.
And it's like, "Oh, hey, sport,
fuck off! I'm not your sport. I'm going out to hurt people. Screw you."
Okay, don't come back too late. Don't know why he had a weird accent.
That's
then.
awesome. I love it. But
here, take some cupcakes I baked for you, Ace.
Mom, would you fuck off?
Oh, don't use that language, Ace.
Oh, Mum, I'm going to stab you. Seriously, I'm going to stab you so hard.
You're so sweet.
Come give me a hug. Let me do raspberries on your belly. That's hilarious. My favourite piece of, because this is one thing that I thought about many years watching it before we had makings of, was when Will Wheaton, when they got to end of filming, Will Wheaton, Gordy said to Rob when he had the gun at the end, he said to Rob Reiner, he goes, "Why don't I get my hat back? I don't know why don't I get my hat back? Because I've got a gun, I can shoot him." And Rob said he threw that hat in a bin as soon as he got around the corner.
Yeah.
Because that's what
it meant nothing to him.
That's what kind of a bully is.
Well, that's what bullies do, man.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care about the item. If they know that the item is of any worth to the person, that's enough for them.
Exactly.
But once they've removed that item of worth, it's useless to them.
Done.
Yeah. What else would I want to talk about?
What else you got? On that.
Yeah.
So going from the scene at the start when he takes the hat with the cigarette near Chris Chambers' face, right? On top of that, the end scene where we think there is a good possibility that Ace could be a murderer and Chris could be stabbed right now.
Sure.
Reflecting back on those scenes, Eyeball Chambers is the worst fucking brother ever to hit the lens of a cinema.
Well,
this guy is a fucking asshole. I would never let someone who's supposed to be my friend treat my brother like that?
I mean, even if my brother was a little piece of shit and I was the
I don't
baddest
care.
member of the Cobras
Exactly.
or whatever they're called, at some point you don't. Yeah, you just go,
You go,
hey,
"Oi,
chill,
fuck
chill
off,
man.
dickhead."
Like, find someone else to fuck with. Like,
Exactly. He's my
still
brother.
my brother. I've got to deal with
Exactly.
this shit later.
Yeah, exactly.
My mom's gonna kill me, man.
She'll make me fucking cakes and I have to fucking
Yeah,
eat them.
exactly. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's a little bit at the end where he goes, "Hey, say, come on, man," but he doesn't put up much of a fight at all.
No, not at all.
Fucking dickless eyeball. What's his name? Eyeball.
Is it
Chiball?
Eyeball?
Yeah, it's Eyeball Chambers.
Okay.
Kid brother to Eyeball Chambers.
What-
That's what he says.
whose nickname is Eyeball?
I love it. Come on.
I don't understand.
There are
it,
so
though.
many things. Can I just mention there are so many things that went, like what you said before, wanting to live in the 50s and 60s. Let's push aside the fact that the world was very racially separated and fucked.
It's like
and things like that.
If we actually took the time to think about the era, I think it would be awful.
It's fucking
but
disgusting.
that's how fucking nostalgia works.
Exactly. You don't get the nice.
You only remember the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get the packet of cigarettes for 20 cents without the segregation on buses and shit like that. No, but the bit that I was thinking of was, you know what I want? You know what I want to come back?
What?
Or if someone were to say to me, Nick, you're going to be a radio DJ. We want you to not with the podcast, just how the I can't do it. I'm not going to try.
The guy that comes out.
The guy that comes out
in
at residence, that's the best, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would love for that to be, instead of morning radio, hey, you're on the air with Husey Gang Daylight. Fuck off. Yeah, fuck off. Seriously.
Yeah, but maybe that's. That's
That's
the same
what-
thing. Maybe people back then were like, oh,
No, they
This
weren't.
guy's
They loved
obnoxious
it.
as shit.
That's why when he came out at the pie eat and he did his little stick, everyone went wild. Come on. Radio DJs.
and he's probably
Bring them back is all
he's
I'm
probably
saying.
like the local. Like
Exactly.
no one else would know him outside
Exactly.
of town.
That's not the
I
point.
miss local celebrities.
Oh, go
the
to
idea
go
of
to
the,
Ballarat. There's fucking
That's what I
tons.
mean, the idea of the local celebrity is gone. It's completely gone.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Wasn't Rove a local celebrity for a while? Remember Rove?
Yeah, I love Rove. He's an Australian celebrity. He's not
Is he?
local.
Oh,
I'm
I thought he
talking
was
like
local.
in your own
In your own town.
if your town had a fate or some shit,
Yeah.
and one of the guests of honor that would actually draw a big crowd
Yep.
is like a local who does, play, I don't know, who sings at the fucking
He
something or
owns the
other.
general store.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No, they've got to be more important
Ah,
than that.
they've got to be
They
more
gotta have
important than
done something.
that.
But you're right, it's the radio guy. It's the radio guy, and he turns up at the fete, and everyone's
Exactly.
like,
Everyone's like,
it's,
what's up?
it's Rollicking Rick from fucking 40WK. And everyone loses their mind.
Oh, I got to go shake his hand. Come on, let's go shake his
Yeah.
hand. I've never talked to him before. Yeah, I'd love that. Bring
I miss
that back.
Let's bring that back.
Come
That's
on.
a good
Come
part
on.
of nostalgia. Let's
Exactly.
make that happen.
Come on.
All right. What else have we got?
What else you got?
I like John Cusack in this a lot.
Oh.
I think he's really great. I forgot it was him as well.
Yeah.
Like he just popped up and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck yeah, John Cusack. Good John Cusack. Early
John
John Cusack when he was just
and he was
so
just
good.
great. Yeah.
I
Has John
miss-
Cusack kind of? Oh,
He's gone real. He's gone the way
where's
of
John
Nick Cage.
Cusack gone? He's gone the way of Nick Cage.
It's all straight to DVD horseshit.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, really bad. And he'll.
Man, High Fidelity, dude.
I know that seems.
Come on.
High Fidelity was a long time ago when you think about it, man.
Fuck,
It was
it was.
2001, I think.
Jesus.
2001 or 2002, maybe even
I thought it was the
2000.
90s.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
give it a googs. Yeah, a lot has happened in that
John
time.
Cusack,
I think
man,
I
come
think he has
back
like
to
money
us.
problems or something.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't like to hear this.
even like America's Sweethearts and like Serendipity.
yeah.
Like at least he was still John Cusacking.
Joan Cusack is doing better.
Oh, I love Joan
I fucking
Cusack
love
so
Joan,
much.
please.
He's funny as
Hi, Rob, you asshole.
fuck. Yeah, she's the best.
Oh, I love her.
I have not watched High Fidelity in a really long time.
Oh.
I need to watch that again soon.
I have so many T-shirts that reference High Fidelity. It's hilarious.
Good.
Yeah,
That's excellent.
yeah. And then my wife stole my favorite one because
How
I'm
dare she?
fucking big for it. She's like, "You can't fit this anymore. I love you very much. This is mine." Yeah, wow. There is nothing. There is wow. Hot Tub Time Machine. Oh, Hot Tub Time Machine.
See, yeah, that might actually be the
Jesus.
last kind of.
Oh, the last one I watched was War Incorporated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the one with the bull? Oh no, I'm thinking of Nicolas Cage's one.
No, he had a similar. Yeah, he had a similar one
Yeah.
where it was about he's an arms dealer in War Inc. Yeah.
Grace is gone. I watched that. It was supposed to be really good, but it was shit. High Fidelity, 2000.
There you go.
Wow, something that came out of 2000 that was decent.
Yeah.
Fuck, that is fucking rare, man.
It's true, man. That was a rough year.
Because no one's watching Pushing Tin.
No. Hey, I've got a question for you.
Oh, please. I love questions.
What's the longest you've ever walked, do you think?
Dude, this is... Yeah.
Did you ever have one of these kind of...
I used to do this as a kid. So this is more in high school though.
Yeah.
So me and my friend Dave, he lived in Dramana, and we used to walk to every party that was either... So you can go back... before Dramana was Safety Beach.
Yep.
And after that was Rye, Rosebud, Sorrento.
Sure.
I've walked from Sorrento to Dramana. That is a fucking hike. I was very, very, very drunk.
Yep.
And or high at the time.
Yep.
But yeah. I've walked some miles, man.
Yeah.
To just get to a house party, find out that there's 2 people there and go, peace, we're going.
Yeah, we're out. That was fun.
We're going to watch some Hackers.
Yeah.
This is Hackers is
New
way
Year's
better.
once down the beach where it was just,
Yeah.
It was literally 7 hours of walking and about 12 minutes of actual party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
100%.
this is what you did as a kid. It was fucking awesome. I loved it.
Awesome.
I remember hitchhiking. I hitchhiked.
I've
yeah.
never hitchhiked.
Yeah, I've hitchhiked. We were only going one town up, and the person that picked us up was a pea-plating girl. She's like, "What are you going to do? Like, I'm just going to pick you up. You guys look okay." I was like, "Oh, thanks. We're really cool." Our voice hadn't broken yet, so we were fucking 15.
Yeah, like it's so funny because it's like the idea of that kind of we're going on an adventure thing, like that disappears at a certain age.
It does, yeah.
I would love to just kind of go, you know what? Instead of I've got to go to this thing. I'm not going to drive there.
I'm going to walk, man.
I'm going to walk.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave that 4 hours that it's going to take, and I'm going
to enjoy the walk.
I'm going to enjoy the walk.
Exactly.
I'm just going to have a fucking walk.
But the best part was you had your friend and all you did was jabber about shit.
Yeah,
that was the best
nonsense.
part. Just like, Mickey Mouse versus Superman.
Exactly.
All of that shit.
Yeah.
No question.
The one that sticks out for me,
Superman.
I remember, and it's actually not even that far a walk, but it feels far in my head.
Yeah.
I remember once we went and saw a group of friends of mine. I'll say that again.
Go for it.
A group of friends and I. We went and saw a movie at Greensboro Plaza.
Nice.
Right?
I've actually been to Greensboro Plaza.
There you go.
It's quite nice cinema.
They've done this they've cleaned that shit up.
Dude.
Used to be Scumsville. Now it's like,
it's
mate,
fucking next level now.
it is.
Yeah.
All reclining.
Yep.
Mate.
Dude.
Anyway, so we saw a movie. We missed the last train back to where we were going.
Burn.
We were only going to McLeod, right? So
Right.
McLeod is two
Two
stations
towns?
up.
Yeah,
two
yeah.
stations up.
Yep.
And we were like, fuck it, let's walk it.
Dude.
Let's do it.
Get on those train tracks.
Let's
Did
do
you
it.
walk on the train tracks?
Yeah, we did we got to, we went the one station up and then we cut through
got
back
off.
streets.
Yeah.
Because it was easier that way.
I fucking love that.
And it took us, I reckon it took us about 3 hours, maybe 2.5 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And man, the sense of accomplishment
Is
when we got home was
awesome.
I still remember it to this day. Like I can tell this story because we were all there and it was 12:30, getting close to 1 a.m.
Yeah.
We'd been just chatting about this movie we saw, and we were just trugging away, and we were talking about life, and we were best mates, just having a fucking good walk and a chat. And we made it back to that house, and we all plonked out on the couches and just went. That was fucking epic.
What time was it when you got home?
It was like 2:30, 3 o'clock or
2:30,
something.
3,
Yeah, and that was awesome, man.
Yeah. How good is that shit?
Yeah.
That's an awesome feeling.
It's
not good when you're walking home and your mate's throwing up and you have to stop every 5 seconds.
Yeah,
I've done that
I mean,
as well.
obviously
But,
that's
but
this was in an more innocent
a more
time.
innocent time.
Yes.
Yes, when we're all eating crunchy nut cornflakes and just cause,
You got
not
it.
because we're stoned.
Is it because you have crunchy nut cornflakes that you said that? Because I could smash some crunchy nut cornflakes.
I have crunchy nut. I actually did the shopping today and I bought crunchy nut cornflakes.
Well done indeed.
I'm a cereal man every morning.
Because we're changing the topic a lot.
We are, but that's okay because everyone knows that this movie is amazing. If you haven't seen this movie, because I have the body, the book as well.
Yep.
And my copy, does your copy have? My copy is a copy that you read in English class, and it has questions at the back. It is so cool.
No, because I've got different
You've got
seasons.
different
Yeah, so.
But yeah, it has questions in the back for
like an English class.
An English class.
Oh, we
yeah,
should have brought it in. We could have asked some and been like,
I should have. Damn
we could
it.
have done our own little fucking
Captain
Christian stuff.
It was so cool. But yeah, this is the type of movie that is taught in class. If you do get that chance, like if it's between this and that, The stuff that I got taught in class was fucking shit, man.
Man, it happens. Sometimes there's bad ones, sometimes there's good ones.
I was just got to run a fucking crap. I really did. And the only decent one was Cozzy. Because for some reason my family, much like this country, if it's not Australian, we can't do it.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Seriously. I know my friend over in Padua is doing fucking Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What?
He did Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What do you study in that?
I don't know, but the point is it was way better than The Well or... What else
It's
did
a
I
media
do?
class. I could see you could study it, but
Fuck, it
not
was
for
terrible.
English.
Fuck, it was terrible.
What's
it
The
was
Well?
so terrible. The Well is a
book?
It's a book, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's written in Australia. A lot of lesbian undertones and... Pass. It's a heavy read, man.
What year level was that meant to be for?
That was year 12 lit.
Okay, no, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah, year 12 lit got into some
It was
shit.
okay, but I didn't
We
want
did
that.
Sylvia Plath stuff. I
Yeah, but
remember
I'd rather
in year
that because I
12.
know who Cynthia Plath is.
Sylvia.
Sorry. I was pissed off. I was pissed, and I couldn't wait.
Her sister Cynthia.
Her
She's not bad
Cynthia.
too.
Yeah. She's got a hell of a career.
Yeah. She's going
She
places.
does a lot of porn.
That's Cynthia Plath.
She went the opposite way to feminism.
Someone
I
chose
went,
that
fuck
as
it, I
their
love a
porn
dick.
name.
I love a dick. God damn
Can
it.
you imagine if someone actually chose that as their porn name as a play on Sylvia Plath?
That'd be awesome. No, it wouldn't.
No,
It's terrible.
that's-
It's taken back a generation.
Well, what else have I got? I like
Go on.
that some of the conversations these kids have are conversations that I still have now.
Yeah.
In the sense that
What the fuck is Goofy?
yeah, I like that. I like that a lot because it's true, man.
What is Goofy?
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
When everyone says, "What's Goofy?" Oh, Goofy's a dog. Well, then what's Pluto? And everyone goes, their eyeballs just.
The best to do it is
Yeah.
when you are stoned or
I
drunk.
can imagine.
Either way.
No, the actually the more kind of thoughtful ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many times I've, when you're having just a bad whatever, a bad couple of days or a bad patch. Tell me you've never thought, man, I just want to move somewhere when no one knows me and start. I want to give this another crack.
There was most of last year. No, not most of last year. Most of the year before, me and my wife were moving because at that point, the dollar was doing quite well.
Oh, like
yeah, and we were going to move to New York.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, we were like, let's move. Let's go. Now we're going to go.
But it's such a common thought, and I love that.
Yeah,
the kids.
Let's just fucking leave.
Starts
leave.
at that age. Like you have a kid who just goes. Sometimes I just want to go somewhere where nobody knows me.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I think
fuck
that.
Yeah, man.
And get a bar job and just fucking work at a bar and listen to old timers
yeah,
stories.
But
and shit.
it's such a dumb thing to think. But you're just like, I'll get like a motorhome.
Fuck,
I'll just cruise around, man. I'll play at pubs and I'll just I'll figure it out.
Play at weddings, Tys. There's going to be tons in this country now.
Oh yeah,
hopefully.
Man. That's it.
Fucking
One of my
hell.
best friends, like on the day it happened,
Yeah, so did
sent me a message. It's like, so we're gonna get ordained.
I had two
and we're gonna be like singing pastors. We're gonna have to like singing ministers.
I had
And,
two
like,
friends
you are
whose
so on.
posts were like, okay, I sing for weddings, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, get that shit. I
Yeah,
want
man.
that shit happening.
And also there's some really nice interchanges with some of the other characters that pop up. I really like the conversation with the guy, the butcher, the guy where he goes to get the meat.
It was full on.
It was full on, but the best, like, the what do you do?
What do you do?
I love it. I loved it
Because
so much.
you don't know at that age.
And no, but not even that. It's because
I don't even know what I do now.
no, it's a question that I still don't really answer.
Yeah.
Because especially when it's something like when it's so clear. Because in Gordy's head,
Yeah.
was it Danny?
Danny.
Had it all sorted.
Yeah, he was.
But I'm sure in his mind, if someone asked him that question, he would probably say the same thing.
Exactly.
And so it's just that constant kind of how do any of us define ourselves?
It was
Denny. Yeah. How do any of us define ourselves specifically? Like it's such a bizarre question to ask, and I love that he straight up just goes, I don't know. And not even with any kind of like realization of like, whoa man, I don't know. Just straight up like,
I don't know.
Give me my fucking hamburger meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I hate that question though.
Yeah, it's a tough question, man.
I hate the pressure of that question.
Huge.
I fucking hate it. Do you know why I hate it though? Because for so long my answer was, I'm an actor. And people were like, oh, what have you been in? And fuck off. I don't want to tell you what. Fuck off. In this country, I've been in fuck all.
Yeah.
I've done fringe after fringe after fringe after fringe, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I've directed some things and all of that. But
And then it's kind of like,
And
great.
you're kind of like, oh, cool. Have you been on the telly?
Yeah. What, anything I would have seen?
Can you
No.
play a tree? Dude, I'm second
play a
away. I'm a fucking shrub.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, like, that's if you can play a tree, if you can play a convincing tree, that's not
Look
bad.
at me, I'm a shrub.
That's not bad work.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've always had a fear of leeches from this film. as
Oh,
well.
really?
Yep.
I've never seen a leech before. I think I've seen one. It was on my mum. And that's all I remember. And I remember it was the type of, because these are different, the leeches come in different types. Because there are leeches that are thin like worms that stick up like that. And if you pull it out, the head will stay in and keep eating. So what you have to do...
Well, don't fucking tell me that shit.
And what you have to do is burn the tail, and then they pull their head out.
Right. I seem to remember something
That's a
about
horrible sentence,
salt.
but yeah. Salt, yes.
You're meant to put salt on them?
Or burn them, and they come off by themselves. You're not meant to pull them off. That's the first thing that my mum told me when I saw this movie. She's like, don't ever touch leeches.
What's the vampire movie with leeches in it, where somebody uses leeches to, like, take out some blood? Is that Dracula 2000?
Oh my God. How do you keep watching this? You know this so well, don't you? Do you own Dracula 2000, Tyson?
No, I definitely don't.
Well, I'm going to buy it for
It haunts
Christmas.
me, though.
I'm going to buy it for you for Christmas. I'm pretty sure it's $6.98.
Yeah, it's 100%. Okay, but Netflix, because I think it was on Netflix. I don't know, it was Stan. But it definitely popped up in the recommended.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is something we think you'd like.
We
and I'm
think you'd like that.
You got me sorted.
You're pretty spot on.
You guys know me good. Anyway, that's pretty much all I want to say. I enjoy this movie a lot. I think it's a really great adaptation.
I think a couple of things before we leave is I love. It's very rare that this happens. That the start and the end of this movie are so well done. If you ever have had someone close to you die like this, not that I have. I'm not going to say that because I haven't had someone very, very close to me die yet. Just the fact that he stopped on the side of the road in the middle of the nowhere because the emotion has come over him and he's just processing. Yeah. He's literally just processing. He can't do anything else. Yeah. That's such a nice start to the movie, and he just sees the kids ride past and he's like, has that recollection. Yeah. You know.
I think it's got one of the best opening lines of all time, one of the best closing lines of all time. Yeah. I think that's really effective.
And good narration.
The narration's good.
Never happens
effective.
anymore. I love a good narration, and if it's Richard Dreyfuss,
and he's really great in a very small role. He brings a really nice warmth to it.
It does, yeah.
I'm with you, man.
But and especially the ending with that last line, like you said,
the last line kills you. It sticks right in the heart.
Yeah, twists it.
Yeah, and the first line is one of those all-time great kind of like, you know, when they talk about how the first line of anything needs to make you want to read the second line.
Yeah, yeah.
And if it
12
doesn't,
going on 13.
The first time I saw a dead body.
Human being.
Oh, dead human being.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's perfect.
That's a line.
That is a line.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is a line and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's
Stephen
gonna
King.
wrap us up. Oh, he's the best. I'm always a huge fan.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I have not bought. This soundtrack is stellar. No question. I haven't bought it because I want to keep it in the movie, and this is what I do with soundtracks that I love.
Yeah.
Don't buy it. Don't listen to it. Keep it in the movie.
I find it funny how like people point to like Forrest Gump as being like the perfect soundtrack of this era. This is a good one too, man. There's some really great stuff in this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a couple of like deeper cuts that aren't, fucking.
And it's the score as well in the background. The flute.
Oh yeah, the way that they kind
of
of do the rearrangements of Stand By Me. It's really nice.
So good.
Yes.
That was Stand By Me, Tys.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to Crossing the Streams.
Oh.
All right. Well, Nick, do you want to go first, buddy?
Do I want to go first? No, I want you to go first because I've got two. So depending on what you pick,
okay,
I will split it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna recommend something that's actually on Amazon Prime. So I know it's not what a lot of people have an option to stream through.
But if you do,
you can take advantage of this because Amazon they're starting to really kind of up their game. They're still uploading a whole heap of trash. Don't get me wrong, real bad stuff that's just hilarious. Yep. But they're working hard to try and get some different stuff up there.
Good one. And is Amazon free?
No,
didn't think so.
No, it's but it's cheaper than all the other ones. It's only like $4 a month, $4 or $5.
Oh, but it's still it's not individual purchases. You just pay for the stream and you're yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. Cool. Oh, nice.
So subscription based and then it's free from there.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is the comedy Accepted. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
Accepted.
So this is from 2006. It's got Justin Long in it. It's one of the very first times I ever saw Jonah Hill. Blake Lively's in it. Directed by Steve Pink. Steve Pink made the Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen this.
Been involved in some other stuff as well.
I want to see this. I like Justin Long.
Yeah, and it's a movie about some guys that, because they don't get into college, decide to make their own college.
I'm out.
No,
I'm kidding.
And it turns into kind of like a lovable losers up against the establishment style comedy
decent.
that was obviously is bread and butter for this kind of college humor.
Yep.
It's full disclosure, I saw it once, maybe 10 years ago. Right? So around the time it came out on DVD.
Okay. And why should our audience watch?
And, well, I remember being surprisingly kind of engaged by it. And being like, this is funny. I like these characters.
Yeah?
This is kind of sweet.
Oh.
And then just kind of, honestly, it might not hold up at all.
Yeah.
But I'm probably going to give it a watch because I like finding things like that and go, well, this is exactly what I need right now.
That is awesome.
And so I might give it a watch, and I think you all should too, because, yeah, I remember having a good old laugh.
Aww.
Hopefully it's not a piece of shit.
Well, I have the same memory of Van Wilder, Party Liaison.
I can watch the hell out of Van Wilder.
I want to watch Van Wilder again.
There's some real problematic stuff in that film, but generally it's pretty funny because Ryan Reynolds is just so fucking charming.
And God, what a body. Just look at the guy, will you?
Oh, God.
Just look at him.
All right, what do you got, man?
I have, this is why I wanted to, so I either had an action or a drama, but I'm going to go the drama because I feel that a lot of people haven't seen this movie and people need to see it. It is...
Sure thing.
Jeez, Nick, you're really slow. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. It is 2013's August Osage County.
Yeah, right, cool.
Have you seen this?
No.
Okay. So the guy who wrote the play, he got a Pulitzer Prize for the play.
Yeah.
That alone should have you fucking see this thing.
Yeah.
Right? But this is amazing script and boss actors at its best. This is something that you can just sit and just let it wash over you.
Sure.
You're going to feel some emotion. Some shit is going to come up. It's not really going to affect you like... Pardon me, Requiem. It's not that deep or anything like that, but it's some stellar performances from Meryl Streep to Julia Roberts, who I love. Julia Roberts.
Yeah,
I know some people have been.
I'm a big fan of hers.
But you've got everyone from Sam Shepard to Ewan McGregor to Juliette Lewis to Abigail Breslin to Benedict Cumberbatch. You know, this thing is a stellar cast, and what it does is the reason I picked it is because I saw similarities with this and Stand By Me, the director just letting the camera sit and having the actors do the work.
Sure.
They know the script back to back and you don't have to cut away, and this is just amazing.
Sure.
Just so
I remember, I think the reason why I didn't end up watching that is because I remember it had so much buzz around it and then came out and everyone kind of just went, it was fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, for a play that I'd heard, of it and has such a reputation.
Yeah.
So that I think... when the film adaptation maybe didn't live up to that reputation or wasn't able to match it, I remember my want to see it kind of fell away a little bit. But it's it's something I'd definitely watch for sure.
It's amazing. So just to give you a little bit of a synopsis, so the Meryl Streep, who plays the mother of these 3 children, 3 girls. Her husband dies, being their father as well. Yeah, and it's to come together and bury the father and to have the wake.
Sure,
but the mother is a complete piece of work.
Right,
she doesn't let anything fly. This is her house.
Yeah,
and she uses prescription drugs a lot. And yeah, it's a beautiful dinner scene.
Drama ensues.
Watch it.
Yeah, nice.
Please watch it. And it is on. Oh, jeez.
What was it on? God
damn it!
Oh my God,
Why
the
does
tension.
this happen to me? Never happens to me. I'm normally on the ball with this shit.
The anticipation is killing me.
It's on Stanley.
On Stan.
Please watch it on Stan.
Wonderful.
Seriously, give it a watch. It didn't win any Oscars. It should have. Meryl should have got it for this.
Yeah.
But I know she has fucking tons.
She's got enough. She'll be right.
Yeah. But yeah, watch it. August Osage County.
Very good. Well, that's going to wrap us up for this week.
That's
Nick,
true.
Why don't you tell some people where they can get a gander of us on the onlines?
On the onlines. So if you want to join us on the social, I keep forgetting the name. The social network. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter.
Yes.
We're coming soon to Instagram.
Ooh.
Coming soon.
Yeah, that'll happen soon.
That'll happen soon. But
Does that
yes.
mean I have to get Instagram?
No.
I've been without Instagram.
I can run it. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that'll be your baby.
Yeah, I can take it. But yeah, you can write to us at nicktysonvideotape@gmail.com.
Yep.
Rate, review, share, subscribe, share us around.
Yeah, tell a friend, tell 2 friends.
If you have a friend who doesn't know what a podcast is,
Well, I don't know what a podcast is, so that's one.
It's a smelly version of a podcast. A podcast is, tell them what it is. I bet you'll enlighten them.
Yeah.
Find a subject that they like.
And if you know a movie fan, I've been recommended a new podcast by another movie fan of mine that I'm very excited to try. I will let you know if it's any good.
Thank
I don't
you.
want to say the name now in case I hate it.
That's true.
But yeah, if you got friends who love movies, just say, hey man, check out this podcast.
Or a lot of what is the transit time? What is it called?
You got a lot of travel
time
to do.
Yeah,
transit time.
But there's a word for it. Anyway, moving on. Commute. There we go. I fucking came home.
If you have a long commute.
If you have a long commute, podcasts are awesome, especially if your train is quiet like mine.
And you can listen to them like extra speed if you just want to smash them out.
Oh yeah, smash them out. Smash them.
Next week,
that's it. Next week, Tyson?
Next week. Well, Nicholas, you did bring something to my attention very quickly that not this week's episode, but next week's episode will land on the 1st of December.
It will land 1st of December.
Which means... yeah, it's Christmas time, baby. It's happening.
It's the holiday season.
We're having a wonderful Christmas time. I'm very excited. But that does mean that we're going to have our themed episodes leading up to Christmas.
We are.
Just as a heads up, we are going to be taking a short break over Christmas and New Year's. We'll be trying to put together maybe some bonus stuff for you guys, just in case you're interested. But we're going to take a little spell. But in the lead up to Christmas, we're going to be looking at some of our favourite Christmas films.
Yes.
And look, they're going to come from all ways and shapes. They might be traditional Christmas.
Absolutely.
You might find an It's a Wonderful Life in there. You might find
I've never seen it before.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
You might find Santa Claus with Dudley Moore.
Sure.
The Santa Claus?
The Santa Claus?
No, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus
because the Santa Claus is Tim Allen.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. I grew up on the Dudley Moore one, though.
Yeah, I like the Dudley Moore one.
Yeah.
But... you also might get what we're going to be talking about next week, and that is perhaps slightly more non-traditional Christmas films.
But this, for me, is traditional. Me and my wife watch this every year.
Yeah, look, and if it makes me think of Christmas in a way that not many other movies do.
Absolutely.
The movie we're talking about is 1984. Good year.
Good year.
1984 is Gremlins.
Gremlins 1. Fuck yeah.
Not the new batch.
Not the new batch.
Which is also a very good movie.
It's very awesome.
But just Gremlins. We're going to spend some time with Gizmo.
Joe Dante, baby.
Oh, yeah.
And
God, he kills this. So good.
So good. So good.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun talking Christmas stuff. Watching movies. Oh, that means we get to watch a lot of movies with snow in it.
Oh, right up your alley, Tys.
I love it. And it's going to be hot because it's December and we're going to be watching snow. I'm going to love it sick.
I'm going to have to watch a lot of sweaty movies.
But also, because we haven't really even decided what the rest of our Christmas month will contain,
yes,
by all means, if you have a favourite Christmas film you would like to hear us discuss,
if you do,
send us an email. nicktysonvideotape@gmail.com
or just Facebook.
Or Facebook.
On Nick Tyson Videotape.
Yeah, because we'd love to hear it and we might be able to chuck in a by request of some description.
Do it. Get on it.
Yeah, get on it. Tell us your favourite Christmas movies,
Tell us your favourite
people.
ones. Yeah.
Maybe we can read them out on the mailbag.
Yeah.
But until then, it's gonna.
Or are they? Are they questionable Christmas movies? Does your family go, no, we're not watching that because it's not Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie, and you go, well, it is to me.
Technically, it is.
Technically, it is.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, we should. You know what we should do? We should do one of those Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like those
stop motion animation. Yes,
those things are crazy.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna do it.
That's gonna do it.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, gang.
I'll see you next week, Nick.
I'll see you next week, Taz.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.